In this video, I'm going to go over horizontal translations, which is either a shift to the left or the right. This slide is really important. You need to be able to recognize this notation. If you are moving to the left or the right, if you picture your graph, the x-axis is what goes left and right. So that means your x values are being affected with a horizontal shift. Notice in these notations, left is actually a plus sign, right is actually a minus sign. Please remember that the sign is the opposite of what you would actually expect here. So if we're shifting to the left, that would be plus, in this case, h, which is just how many units you're moving. And then if you're moving to the right, it would be minus. So here's an example. I'm going to use the quadratic parent function, and I'm going to show you how you would shift this equation to the left and then shift it to the right. I also have pictures of the graph after I'm done with this. So if I'm shifting to the left 2, remember that notation from the last slide? You need to be able to recognize that if this notation is put in front of you that I just wrote down, it's telling you that the function f is being shifted to the left 2. So don't let the f throw you off. It could be a g, it could be an h. F of x is just the same as y. So f is just the name of the function. Now I'm moving to the left 2, which means I have x plus 2 in parentheses. This notation is telling me to replace every single x in the function f. So I have an x right here, and I have an x right here. I'm going to replace both of those x's with x plus 2. Now remember, whenever you plug something in, please keep it in parentheses. If I didn't put the parentheses there, this would be a completely different answer. So you may be able to leave your answer like this. That would be fine. You can call it f of x if you wanted. You can call it g of x. I'll call it g of x. So my new function g of x would be the parent function shifted left 2. If you are asked to simplify and you can't leave it like this, I'm going to end up multiplying out the x plus 2 squared. Please do not distribute the exponent. That's not allowed. That's not how this works. Remember, an exponent of 2 means that you have 2 of them multiplied together. So expanding this out, I have x plus 2 times x plus 2, which means I can FOIL. And then combine like terms. And I decided to name it g of x. You can call it y, you can call it whatever letter you want. So that would be a quadratic function or a parabola shifted to the left 2. So with the right 2 instead, that would be f of x minus 2, which again you need to recognize is the function f being shifted to the right 2. It's always the opposite sign than you would expect. So again, this x in my original function becomes x minus 2. So you could leave it like this possibly, or again, if you're asked to simplify and expand this out, we can multiply this again. I'll spare you the time. So I could call it, let's say I'll call this one y. So either version would be a quadratic function shifted to the right too. And this is what those equations look like on a graph. So the red is actually the original f of x. And then the black parabola was the equations that I just found.